Mike Edwards. I was deck cadet for the last year of my apprenticeship on the Ocean Monarch, 64 to 65. Some of the sordid details of which are contained in a little black book in a familiar room called my journal. After I stayed at sea until 73 when I finished a BSc in Nautical Studies, when I changed my employer's address from 54 Leadenhall Street to 155 Fenchurch Street, which for those who know is the same building, with its favour. And I worked for them and then other Lloyd's brokers, including starting up and becoming a director of one, and their address was also 155 Fenchurch Street when we started. About 1990, I downsized. I wasn't getting a big enough bonus in the city, and I started working for the church as a youth worker, and I'm now living in the Republic of Ireland as youth advisor to one of the bishops of the Church of Ireland, covering about 7 counties of Ireland. I'm married to Liz for nearly 40 years. I'm really glad to be here.
And thanks very much for thank you very much for bringing that journal. It's a real insight into the life of a cadet. That's terrific stuff. Who's next to you? I can't see who's next to you on the right. Oh, it's Alan.
I'm Alan Duddle. I was with both the Ocean Monarch and the Queen for 6 years. But the years were so long ago, I can't remember what they were. I've had sort of an interesting career. I've about been president of a few corporations and still on the board of a few companies. I live in Florida and also in Italy.
Thank you, Alan.
Brian Broom was a third boy and ended up with Captain Saunders Commerce Water, 64-65. I left in 65 and went on to BP Tankers and Hadley Tankers. And then I left there and joined a marine company as a marine painting inspector. Working there up now, I'm a key accounts manager for Pittsburgh Plate and Glass. It's a marketing company, and we look after dry dockings, marine vessels and offshore vessels.
Brilliant. Thanks very much indeed. Who's on the next one? Yep.
Bill Hammond. I was the third Adam on the Ocean Monarch from 62 to 66 when I left Berlin. When I went ashore, I started a business, ship chandling, and I started a pub as well in the west of Ireland. And after that, it was pretty successful when the oil rigs came into the west coast. I got involved. And I now have a company in Aberdeen called Rigman Offshore. We're recruitment for the drilling industry worldwide. We've been at that now for 40 years.
Wow.
So I'm still in Aberdeen. I'm still working. What else could I do? I got Spain today, Glasgow again. I have a place down there. I try to get as much as I can, but I'm still at it.
Yeah.
Still hiring guys here and there and sending them guys.
You wanted to repeat a man like
Fighting different things all the time. So.
Who's behind you there?
Terry Gordon, 65, Queen of Bermuda and Ocean Monarch, and Big Owl in Arizona. Then I went did a stint in the 70s on the T2s for Texaco, and then been on oil rigs, Saudi, Libya, and then back on the engineer maintenance. I'm separated, so I've got 3 wonderful boys. That's all, thank you.
Thank you very much. Joe?
My name's Alf Thomas, and actually nobody knew me as Alf. I was tacky, and it took me a while, but when I bumped into him, they said, tacky, I was known as. And I started as senior third officer on the Ocean Monarch in 1954. And I left it to go for my mate's frigate. Well, I actually had a spell on the Queen of Bermuda as well in that about 3.5-year period. And after that, I gave up the sea sometime later and went into the pharmaceutical industry. And I bumped into Furnace Willie people, and some of you may remember Noel Land, who died a short while back. I remember Ian Clark very well. And I remember Captain Musson, Magnus Musson, extremely well, and I bumped into a lot of these people who also belong to the Shore Salvage Society, those who are still alive and kicking, of course. It's not quite the same as Furnace-Smithy. It's not, Shore Salvage is not Furnace-Smithy, and it's not the same atmosphere. It's much more aloof, and I don't like it at all. Anyway, hope we don't carry that story back. Since then, I went to the pharmaceutical industry. I still keep my contacts with the sea. I'm the membership secretary of Wales to the Merchant Navy Association, or I was until a couple of months ago. I still just keep my roots. I was water safety advisor to Atlantic College, that some of you may have heard of. It's an international sixth forms group. And the small world that we live in, this gentleman went to the same day, he went to the same school as I did. Clive Wales there lives a few yards down the road from me, and you can live within yards of one another most of your life, and you don't realise that people that your paths have crossed when you're at sea. Anyway, I did enjoy it, and I'm delighted to be here today. Thank you very much.
Dave Cummings, I was a cadet on the deck cadet on the Queen of Bermuda in 1962. I then left Furnace shortly after that and spent several years